I'm Jerry Springer. The world changed, so we shouldn't be surprised that our colleges did too. We'll talk about it.
He's not here, of course, to celebrate his 50th birthday. He wouldn't have been if no one had the chance to see that.
The fact is, most Americans view the bombings as extreme, as an irrational response to abortion. But maybe her greatest gift was what she taught us grown-ups, from the homespun simplicity of a noontime television set, that life is best and most meaningful when we take care of each other.
And we think of Krista McCullough and that terrible moment emblazoned on our minds. And I wonder if they're nervous. Oh, God, let them get up there. Pete would have no excuse for not going ahead with the hearing. Both sides would be heard. The issue would be out of court. The question of Pete's betting finally settled. But other than disasters, what happens or what do we do in our daily lives that brings us all together? If we don't find room for Jesse Jackson and the forgotten and alienated Americans he represents, if we chase these folks out of the system, what avenue is left for them to vent their anger? We ought to know better. We ought to respect women more. The smile, the brain, the personality are a hell of a lot more important. Indeed, since the age of 13, I have loved being with a woman. I've just never wanted to be one. But I also understand that my frame of reference does not encompass all human experience or circumstance. And yet, though I'm sure there are exceptions, the relationship of prostitutes and pimps exists as the ultimate manifestation of a woman's lack of power. It's absurd to argue a cult's rights under the Freedom of Religion Clause of the First Amendment when a child of the cult is being denied his right to believe or practice anything other than what is dictated by the group. But let's not pretend that people aren't being hurt here. They are. Fat people are being laughed at and discriminated against. And in America, while that's still legal, it's not funny. How can we possibly conclude otherwise than that if someone says she's a lesbian, it can only be because in the deepest recesses of her being, uncontrollably, she is. But if you've been mistreated and you choose to stick around, know that he's already demonstrated the ability to hurt you. And what has happened in the interim to make you think that he wouldn't do it again? But being forgiven does not necessarily mean that the relationship can be saved, particularly if what you're revealing alters how your lover now views you. Is a relationship over? If neither of you want it to be, it isn't. It takes two to get together. It takes the same two to stay together.
While the kids of Compton dodged bullets, the kids of 90210 dogged retail. Yet they were all residents of La La Land.
The truth is, as hard as it is to admit, none of this would be a problem if your loved one would simply tell the other guy or girl to get lost.
There's never been a moment in the 25 years of doing this show that I ever thought I was better than the people who appear on our stage. I'm not better, only luckier.